Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good people. Yeah, you know what it is. Hard worker, scrappy, unfiltered, and sometimes unhinged football content. Hard to explain, but you know it when you see it. Doing it daily our way. I don't know what you're talking about right now. Redraft and Dynasty Fantasy Football, we got you covered. You know their defense is ranked like 31st in the NFL? NFL draft prospects and rookies? Now you know you in the right place for that.
Absolutely.
All right, then stop saying it. Then we're done. And prop bets with my man Jay Rich.
Count that money, man.
Now wipe the crust out of your eyes, get you a cup of coffee. It's time to wake your ass up with Ray G. You honestly are making absolutely no sense and you sound silly as hell. Good morning, 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 good morning. Good people. It is Friday, July the 15th, 2022. Y'all decided to wake up with Ray G. And for that, myself along with Jay Rich, we appreciate you being here. Thank you for tapping in on a Friday. If it's your first time on the channel, we like to have a good time. Engage with the good people in the comments. I have no clue what they're talking about right now. I don't even know if I've said good morning to the people in the comments in a couple of days. So Row is in the building, 7 gold rings. Mike A. What's up, Mike A? Cody Smith in the building. Dynasty Barry. Taryn in the building. Gretchen, good morning to you. James, we got your super chat. We got to get to James' super chat. Jay, he had a super chat before we got off the show on Wednesday. We didn't answer it, so we got to go back to it. So James, what I need you to do right now is just text your thing in the chat. We'll put it up on the screen because I don't know where it's at in the screenshot queue, but I'll try to find it. But good morning to you, James, Lindsay, Mac, EV in the building. Man, we got a good crew. Cody, what's up, Cody? Please tell these motherfuckers in the Scott Fishbowl to start draft. You got to tell them, Cody. You're the one. Me and Cody and Nate List were all in the same Scott Fishbowl League, North Las Vegas. And yes, it is slow. Cody is going heavy wide receiver. He has pissed me off multiple times this draft. Jay, Joe, Cody, Joe. Saturday is supposed to be hot for us. Yes, it's Saturday was supposed to be the day that I fly to Costa Rica, but that's not happening now. What's going on, Matt Bruning? Got a lot of good people in the building, but let's get this on the bottom and let's get Jay Rich in here. What's up, Jay?
What's going on, man? I'm liking the setup here. It looks like you maybe moved the camera back a little bit.
I
see you with the Apple Pencil. I see you with the Apple Pencil. I don't know if you're taking digital notes.
Yeah, taking some digital notes, yes.
Trying
to do better. I'm trying to do better.
I'm liking it. I see you there. At first, I thought maybe he doesn't even have the iPad because he says he wants to get a new one. It's just a flex. You just got it in your hand, waving it around, pretending like you're taking notes. Because I know you're not actually listening to anything that I say, but the fact that you are showing it to the world that you are, I appreciate that.
I'm not.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right, man. I think you heard the commotion yesterday, so yeah. I'm supposed to be flying out to Costa Rica for an 8-day, 7-night vacation. And we are not flying out on Saturday because my oldest tested positive for COVID yesterday. So, he had some symptoms a couple of days ago. We thought, it was the flu because my youngest had the flu. I was sick. Wife, everybody was sick, right? So that we wouldn't get him tested just to be safe, right? We don't want to be one of them people spreading the shit. And now he's got COVID, so we got to push it back. Can't fly out. So we did get our flight moved, Jay. We'll be flying out Monday. So we lose 2 days in Costa Rica, but the most important thing is little man is okay. He's healthy. He's fine. He's running around playing. You would not even know he had anything, right? So we could have been one of them parents that said, fuck it, we just going to go regardless. But yeah, I'm a man. I'm not almost 40, but I like saying that. I'm not going to do that and put other people at jeopardy. So we're doing all right, man. Little man is doing well. We still going to get to go out to Costa Rica for 5 days or something like that. So trip cut a little bit short, but it's all good, man. We all right.
Yeah, that's good. It's funny because I never actually told you this story yesterday because remember you wanted me to go through something for you and I said, okay, I'll do it after I go get a pizza. And so this is random because I moved, right? I moved about 6 months ago.
Yeah. You moved to a $5 million house, yes.
I'm lazy as hell, right? Yeah. I get my pizza delivered every single time and I only know where one Domino's is. So every time I get my pizza delivered, I don't know which Domino's it comes from. So I ordered it yesterday. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to save my $6. I'm going to get my ass in the car and go and pick it up.
Look at you.
This Domino's that I went to is about 4 minutes driving from my house. I get there. I'm like, hey, my name's Jordan. I ordered this pizza. They're like, yeah, it's not here. And then I look at the address because I'm like, this Domino's is so close to me, there can't possibly be at another one. Right. I look at the address, I'm like, oh shit, like I'm at the wrong place. And there is literally another Domino's even closer to my house down the street. And it's probably about 3 minutes away. I could not believe it, man. It's just like, what are the chances that there's one even closer than the one to my house? I couldn't, bro, it was nuts. Well, it was nuts. So I get there.
Okay, there's like, more too. There's more. Oh, continue.
There's not much more. But when I got there, I told the guy that went to the other one, and he was like, yeah, that was stupid. Like, he straight up told me to my face. He's like, that was stupid, man.
So
but I couldn't believe it. It was nuts.
I'm just trying to follow the timeline of me talking about Costa Rica and COVID to your trip to the wrong Domino's. I felt like there was going to be some synergy there, but it didn't seem like there's many similarities.
No. I could send you a pizza from Domino's if you want. I could do that.
The fact that you eat Domino's is concerning.
Really? You're not a Domino's guy?
No, absolutely not.
What is your pizza of choice then?
No. I prefer going to like a regular, like a non-chain pizza location and getting a brick oven pizza. I'm more of a higher end pizza guy, but if I have to go with an order, there's a couple of places here. I'd prefer of the big chain pizzas. And pizza's a funny story because we're gonna get into a pizza story here soon. But I'm more of a Papa John's guy. But Domino's, I would go with Papa. I don't give a shit about whatever political.
Yesterday I was supporting black-owned businesses, and today I'm supporting Papa John's. Ray,
I like the pizza, and they give me little peppers. The peppers are good. They give you 2 little peppers inside the Papa John's box, and I like the peppers. I like it.
The former official's pizza sponsor of the NFL, right? Pizza Hut.
That's shit. Sorry. All right. Well, that's not my preferred choice. I prefer a brick oven pizza from a nice pizza location if I had my preference, but neither here nor there. Welcome to the show. Everybody on YouTube was like, what the hell are they talking about? They're 10 minutes in and we're talking about damn pizza. No, we can't make pizzas, but I lived in New York for a year, so I've had some good pizza. And if you live in Chicago and you're a deep dish person, that is not pizza. That is a pie with
lasagna.
Sauce. It is, it's lasagna. That's not pizza. I'm not a deep dish guy. To me, it's not pizza, man. I had it. It's too much red sauce. I'm a thin crust guy. I don't like, I'm not a big sauce guy. I don't like a bunch of sauce over stuff. Like whether it's ribs and barbecue, I'd prefer a dry rub. I just don't like a lot of sauce. And then all that red sauce in this deep dish thing, and you pick it up and falling off. It's more of pizza sauce with bread on the bottom. Not a big deep dish guy, Jay. I don't know about you. I'm thin crust.
No, I'm not a big.
I like
not
the
a big
oven
deep dish guy
pizzas.
either.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure we're on the same page, man. Well, whatever. They don't use sauce. Who doesn't use sauce? There was a bunch of sauce on the Chicago pizza I had. A bunch of it. Yeah, it's too much sauce, man. It's too much sauce. Yeah, Lindsey Mack. New York pizza. All right, Jay. Where are we going? What are we talking about today? This is supposed to be a fun Friday show. We're gonna have fun today, people. We're gonna have fun. This is the last show that we're going to have for a week. So all of next week, no wake up show, but we do have our new newsletter that launched this morning. Think it came out at 7 in the morning, maybe it's 8, but make sure you go in the YouTube description and we'll put the link to the new YouTube, to the new newsletter. A lot of good stuff in there, analytical points, some trades of the week. There's some really good stuff in there. Some quotes from McNutted and the 4D guys, Eugene and Ike, Jordan Backus. We got some 2023 news in there. So make sure you subscribe to the new newsletter inside the YouTube description. Jay, what's the news? What do we have? What's going on in the sports world, man?
So, Mike actually requested some NBA news. So here I am. Ray, let's dive into what happened yesterday in the NBA. So yesterday, Indiana put in a maximum 4-year, $133 million qualifying offer to DeAndre Ayton, to which the Phoenix Suns swiftly, for some reason, accepted, even though they had 48 hours. So now DeAndre Ayton is locked in on the Phoenix Suns until, I believe, at least January 15th, so he cannot be part of a Kevin Durant trade this offseason. And I think this is pretty awesome for me because I have a 20-1 bet on Kevin Durant to be on the Raptors this season. And so now it's basically looking like the Raptors have a shot. Masai Ujiri worked his magic. Now he just needs to slowly massage Brooklyn until he finally says, this is their moment. And they go and get Kevin Durant. I can make some money and be pretty happy at the same time. But that was the big news. And so, Ray, I have to ask you now, because this has been happening a lot. Do you think that Durant will be on the Nets? Do you think he'll be on another team? Because now the options are dwindling. Because actually, I want to say about a week ago, the sports books took the bet that they were taking before, where it's Kevin Durant and Kyrie playing on the same team this season. You, sir, are very excited about the prospect of Kyrie Irving joining the Lakers. And so it's looking like Kyrie will be on the move eventually, but do you think Kevin Durant plays for the Nets this season, or do you think he plays for another team? Because on top of that, the Nets also released their season ticket promotion, and Kyrie Irving was not featured, but Kevin Durant was. Could it be a smokescreen? Could it be nothing? I don't know. But Ray, what are your thoughts on that with the Ayton signing? Because that was actually pretty big in the NBA because of the cascading effects. And then ultimately, we'll see what happens with Donovan Mitchell over the coming days, whether he goes to the Knicks or not.
I have low thoughts. I'm not a big Ayton fan. So next, I mean,
good for Ayton fan?
Good for Ayton. I don't really care. I mean, he's a big man that plays like a point guard. As big as he is, as skilled as he is, he should be a lot more dominant. But don't really.
True.
It's funny you want to talk about this, but then when I wanted to talk about Kevin Durant, you bitched me out about, oh, this isn't really news. Why do you want to talk about this?
That
and
was
now
like
you
2
bring,
weeks
now
ago,
you want to bring up the most
since.
irrelevant piece of KD news that Kyrie wasn't featured.
Big piece of news.
Kyrie wasn't featured in their program or something like that. What else is going on, Jay?
So the biggest news in the Twitter sphere, outside of Lamar Jackson roasting people on Twitter, is Gabe Davis reportedly up to 227 pounds,
yeah, I saw that.
according to his trainer. Again, we talk about play weight versus off-season weight and what that really means. He's probably going to come in around 220 or so, which again is still more than he's listed at right now. But I think the real question is like, do we really care? Does this move the needle? A guy who is already big and fairly dominant outside, is he going to be any bigger and more dominant now because he weighs a little bit more? I don't know if it moves the needle much for me, but what are your thoughts on Gabe Davis bulking up a little bit?
Gabe Davis is in the chat, man. Loving that deep dish. Gabe Davis is in the chat. I'm excited for Gabe. I mean, it's a big boy, Jay. I mean, 227 pounds, but that's reporting weight. Once they get into training camp, they'll do is drop 10 pounds. They'll drop 5 pounds. They'll drop weight. He played at 220 last year, so not that big of a deal to me. I mean, bulked up, put on some muscle. I get it, right? Put on a little muscle. That's the opposite of Darnell Mooney, who bulked up.
Hey, whoa. Come on. This is more relevant news, in my opinion. When you go going from 215 to 227 is a lot different than going from 173 to 183, which Darnell Mooney apparently did. A guy who is slender in frame but fleet of foot, getting that little bit of weight, it does matter. And when we talk about prospects, especially, we want them to be 180 pounds. Like that's usually the threshold for success that we see in the NFL that a lot of receivers have hit or not hit. Clear examples are Tavon Austin versus Brandon Cooks. Devontae Smith is a guy who will be an outlier in that regard. So again, I think for me, like if I'm looking at Darnell Mooney, a receiver I already love, talk about him forever. The fact that he's trying to add weight, get stronger, obviously be more dominant outside, I think that matters more than Gabe Davis already being 220 pounds and going up to like 225 pounds. Because again, a guy who's already big, strong, dominant outside versus Mooney, who is small and slender. If he can add a little bit of weight, you'd think that would help him a little bit, just fight off guys, be a little bit stronger at the catch point, all these things areas that he could be deficient versus Gabe Davis, he's not deficient in that in any area at all.
Okay. Were you
don't care about Mooney bulking up? Really?
No, I mean, no. That's cool. I mean, no, it's cool, man. I'm glad he put on a little weight. Here's my thing. I don't really care. I've seen him play in the NFL for 2 years at whatever weight that was. It's like the Hollywood Brown playing at 150 pounds. I've seen Mooney play for 2 seasons. He just came off a 1,000-yard season at apparently 168. I don't care. He's good. He knows how to win. It's his 3rd year. Good for him working and some people just can't put on weight, man. Some people no matter what you do, what they do, they just can't put on weight. The metabolism is too fast, just their genetics, their makeup. So good for Mooney putting on a little bit of weight, getting up to that 185 range, and he's going to be fed numerous balls from Justin Fields because there's nobody else there. We talked about N'Keal Harry going there the other day. Nothing big in that regard, but happy for Darnell Mooney. Seeing some people in the chat saying he's going to disappoint, he's going to suck. I mean, I don't know, man. Darnell Mooney, the
Volume's
smallest
gonna
wide
be there,
receiver
man.
three. I don't. I think he's going to be fine. I think he's going to be fine. You know, he's going to be fine.
Yeah, so I want to ask you about your Cowboys now, because there are reports that Jalen Tolbert will be the starting wide receiver, right? We all thought it would be James Washington. You know, we'll see if they wanted to bring someone else in there. But again, if Jalen Tolbert is impressing, I still remember the video you sent me at the Senior Bowl, right?
Yeah.
Because Jalen Tolbert, for whatever he's listed at, like 205, one, that surprised me because he looked like he was 220, looked big and built. But where are you at with Tolbert? Because, I mean, we're not really touting him right now. We're not taking him in redraft league, Scott Fish Bowl, anything. But if he's a starting wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys out of week 1, is he going to lose that job? Probably not. You know, we expect him to not start and maybe start down the line. But if he's going to be the starter out the gate like that, him and CeeDee Lamb and Dalton Schultz, I think he could see a ton of targets this season, and he could be really valuable in fantasy.
Tolbert's dope, man. I mean, you know, the good thing that Dallas has done over the last couple of years with the rookie wide receivers, the best thing they can do is pair them with a veteran. And the reason why I say that, and that should seem like common knowledge, but I remember a couple of years ago when they drafted Michael Gallup out of Colorado State, and they tried to roll Michael Gallup out there as the one that season as a rookie. They thought he could assume the wide receiver 1 role in that offense, and it didn't work out well. And they went out and traded for Amari Cooper a couple of weeks later to bring in a true 1. But now that Dallas they've got, you know, say what you want about James Washington, he'll be there in a stretch downfield role, right, in the slot or whatever that may be. But you've got CeeDee Lamb on one side. Jalen Tolbert coming in at the start of the season, there's really nobody else. There's truly nobody else out there. So he's going to have a great opportunity to play well, to produce, to show those flashes. That way, when Michael Gallup comes back and he slides into that flanker role, you know, maybe it's going to be interesting to see how Dallas deploys these weapons, because I don't know if they're going to play CeeDee Lamb in the slot where he's played a lot early throughout his career, if they're going to kick him outside to the X and then play Jalen Tolbert in the slot or the Z. I know Michael Gallup's probably not going to be the slot receiver. He's probably going to be the Y, but it will be interesting. The Z, excuse me, not the Y, the Z receiver. It's going to be interesting, but I'm excited for Jalen Tolbert. I really like that draft selection that they made. So good for him. You know, I'm still not projecting him or thinking that he's going to have massive impact and be this outstanding fantasy option this season. But if he gets on the field, shows those flashes going into year 2, I think that's where you could see Jalen Tolbert really take a step forward. And it's just kind of interesting. Like, I wonder if Dallas has like confidence that Gallup will come back at some point this year, because they did give him a decent sized little deal to at least be around next year. There's not a world in which they're going to like trade or cut Michael Gallup. So I still think the pecking order in that offense, everything will flow through CeeDee Lamb. We'll see what happens with Dalton Schultz. Then it's going to be Michael Gallup. And then, you know, Jalen Tolbert from the pass catchers sprinkling in a Tony Pollard and a Zeke Elliott out of the backfield. So while good for Jalen Tolbert, I still, if we're being realistic, like fuck all the rookie talk, I think they're all going to play. If we're being realistic, I just don't know how much, when at full strength, will be there for him. But I'm excited about what he could be long-term for Dallas for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And like you mentioned, they brought in, you know, James Washington to kind of replace Gallup for that short stretch. But if Tolbert is showing enough in training camp and in practices, maybe they do roll him out early enough. But kind of sticking with the Cowboys a little bit here, Dalton Schultz is not expected to get a deal for the deadline today. You know, he is franchise tagged. Him and Mike Gesicki was reported that both these guys are not going to get deals by the end of today, which is the deadline. And so I wanted to ask you about, look at this. This is Jeff. I was literally thinking this morning. I mentioned the exact thing this morning.
Yes, he did.
With Dalton Schultz, I want to ask you, Ray, and you know, the question is basically, is it reminding us of Austin Hooper? Austin Hooper was phenomenal in his final season in Atlanta. He ended up getting a big contract for the Browns and has been irrelevant ever since. You know, with the tight ends, it really comes down to volume, the system. When you switch systems, volume changes, everything can change. And so we're drafting Schultz as like tight end 6, tight end 7 in Dynasty. Do you think there is a potential downfall for holding him through this season? And what do you think your risk rating would be for Schultz? And how do you feel about him kind of going forward in Dynasty?
If he's on another team, I don't feel as good. I'll just be honest with you. Like I want him to remain with Dallas. There's the connection and the rapport with the offense, with Dak Prescott. With the receivers, they've been together for a couple of years. So
yeah,
obviously, I would prefer him to stay in Dallas. I think, and Jeff, Jay Rich said this right before we got on. He said this is reminding me of Austin Hooper leaving Atlanta. What's he being valued as right now? Like a top 8, top 7 dynasty wide tight end right now.
Yeah, man.
If he's not on Dallas,
high.
he's still top 10. But I'd prefer him to remain with Dallas. Like I'd rather him stay there. I hope they work it out. Right now, there's nobody.
Tight end 7 right now.
Tight end 7
behind. So he's ahead of Pat Freiermuth, Dallas Goedert, Cole Kmet, Dawson Knox.
Yeah.
And I think the fear is that all those guys could easily pass him if he's on another team, right?
Yeah.
Because then we don't know what his role is going to be. And I think all those guys, for better or worse, have pretty secure roles. Especially, I've talked about how I really like Freiermuth this year. Goddard, obviously, super secure in Philly, but more target competition.
Stop,
but
Robert.
don't
do this, bro. Don't do this, man. Don't get me excited.
Oh, buddy. It's Michael Mayer.
I mean, that would be nice, but I have zero draft confidence in my boys in round 1. Don't even. I mean, put it in the atmosphere, but I'm just going to act like I didn't even see this. But the reality is, Jay, if he's not on Dallas, I don't know, man.
You have to be concerned because I think the downside far outweighs the upside if he switches teams, right? Like, unless somehow he ends up on the Patriots or something and he's like a perfect fit in that offense.
If they don't give him a deal, he's going to walk. If they don't give him a deal, he's a 4th-round pick. He's about to go get his money. Good for him. Sucks for Dallas fans. I like Schultz. He's not much of a blocker, but he's a really good receiving tight end. And he's been really solid for us in fantasy. And for somebody, I don't know, man, for somebody that you could have gotten for free last year, literally for nothing to go, like you talk about a lottery ticket and everyone talks about a lot. Everybody's searching for the next Elijah Mitchell. Where's the next? I'm looking for the next Dalton Schultz, right? Because most of us play in tight end premium leagues. And if you can find a cat like that for free, right? Just off of waivers, $1 fab, last round, and then they actually turn into something in tight end premium leagues, that's a massive value spike, right? So I kind of like, I'm fine dumpster diving for tight ends, just in my personal philosophy, Jay. Like if I don't have a top tight end, I'm fine taking a shot on, talent and athleticism, situation. And that was a lot of the stuff with Dalton Schultz. It was the situation and opportunity. And you saw him sort of produce at a decent clip for 2 seasons. And then it was like, they're not going to take him off the field. I don't know why people thought that last year, that Blake Jarwin was going to come in and take all this work from Schultz. So I think there are a couple of tight ends right now in the NFL who sort of, we're looking for the next Mitchell that sort of fit that Dalton Schultz pathway to relevance. And all the names sound disgusting as shit. I know they sound dirty, they sound nasty, but there are a couple of players that I think they're going to have some opportunity to play really well this year and sort of solidify their spot as a starting tight. Think about how many tight ends we hear about in the NFL today, and you don't know where they went to college. You can't tell me what round they were drafted in. But if I ask you right now, Jay, where did Tyler Conklin go to school?
I have no idea.
You have no clue, right?
No clue.
I know you don't.
No clue.
Do you know where Hayden Hurst went to school?
Ooh.
You don't know.
NC State. Was NC State?
Was it NC State?
I think it was.
Come on, Jay. He was a first-round pick. He was a first-round pick, Jay.
That doesn't matter. That was a surprise.
Where did Cole Kmet go to school? Where did Cole Kmet go to school?
I don't know where Cole Kmet
Jesus. No Cole Kmet? Gold helmets.
I'm not a...
Point
Notre
is,
Dame, did he?
Most of these guys, you don't even know where they went to school. You don't know what round they were drafted in. I can go find a tight end. Like, I really... Like, there are some good indicators, common sense indicators that should lead to... I'll grab this tight end and see if he turns into anything. Notre Dame, man. No, he didn't.
I know where Austin Moreau went to college because he went to LSU.
He's LSU, and Hayden Hurst was a Gamecock. You had the colors kind of right. You had the colors kind of right, and you had the Carolinas.
I was getting close.
You had the Carolinas right,
within proximity, but not quite there.
JB says you're disappointing him, but point is, Dalton Schultz on another team outside of Dallas, I don't like it. I don't like it as much, man. I don't like it as much.
Yeah, I'm with you. So that was pretty much it. Outside of the NFL grossing $11 billion in revenue sharing, $345 million per team. That was pretty much it that we saw over the past couple of days. And then, I told you that I'm starting to feel good about Amari Cooper this season.
Yeah, talk about Amari Cooper. You said you're starting to feel good. I don't know. What do you? Why?
Here's the thing with Amari, right? Who else is on that roster? Like straight up.
I get it.
You got nobody there. You could say David Bell. I'm talking about Donovan Peoples-Jones, but at the end of the day, like at least for me, these are guys that I target in Dynasty a lot. I don't really care if the team is good or bad or who the hell is playing quarterback. If you have an opportunity to get a ton of volume, like I want you on my roster because you have a high floor, right? He's a guy who could be a very high floor player. I get, people are worried about him playing outside, playing in the cold, blah, 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 whatever. Still a tough division for sure. But, Jacoby Brissett, I don't think is a bad quarterback. And so if you're telling me that, if you're going to basically tell me, do you think he's a bad quarterback? Like,
bad.
He was pretty good with Jalen Waddle last year. Jalen Waddle still broke rookie records with Jacoby Brissett at quarterback for part of the season. So again, like, I don't think he's a bad quarterback. I think he's fine. And I think he can still deliver the ball. If you're telling me that Amari Cooper is going to get like 140 targets and nobody wants him, I don't know, man. I think that we should start to think about, is there a world where he is relevant? And on top of this, Ray, next week or, in the coming weeks or so, we should see a Deshaun Watson ruling. If Deshaun Watson isn't suspended for the whole year, Amari Cooper is a value. Because the minute that Deshaun Watson comes back, Amari Cooper is probably a top 24 wide receiver. Right? So from that standpoint, if you can get him outside of that and he's going to get the volume kind of regardless of the situation, for me, I think that he could be worth a shot personally if you believe that Watson is not going to be suspended for the whole year. And even if he is, I still think he could be a value down the line because of how he's tied to Watson right now. But that's just what I see for this season. And the main reason why I'm talking about this is because I thought about taking him in SFB very recently. And so I'm like, maybe there's a shot because I saw him projected for 130, 135 targets. And I'm like, why am I passing on this guy? But I think the conundrum for me is like, do I want him or do I want Michael Thomas? And I think that's the answer that I just don't have right now. And I don't know if you give me that answer, but that's kind of the question I'm weighing in my head
man,
right now.
Because I see it both ways. Shout out to Cody in the building. The player profiler, Tom Savage Corollary. Basically, Cooper will just get all the opportunities. Like he'll just get all the targets, right? He'll get everything. And then you got Scott, two opposing minds. We like to challenge on this show.
Yes,
if
sir.
Jacoby's the QB, the Browns have the worst QB room and the fewest pass attempts in the NFL. Don't want anyone but their run game. I see both, man. Like, I think Jacoby's a decent real-life quarterback, and by decent, I mean just, like, probably replacement level, if not a little below. But fantasy is awful, man. He's an awful fantasy quarterback. He's awful. He's terrible. I don't know, man. I don't know. Listen, we had this conversation in the Discord a couple of weeks ago with Scott, and it really had me thinking, man. Like with Amari Cooper, like if I drafted him in Dynasty, like if you got him when he was a rookie or you had him during his Dallas years, like you got good production out of Amari Cooper. Like you've already gotten it. Like I'm fine moving on. Like I'm just fine.
Yeah.
I don't need to keep hanging on to years of yesterpast, right? Yesteryears, whatever the fuck the thing is said. I don't need to hang on to that, right? I've already gotten the production from Cooper. He's done his thing for my rosters. I'm ready to go, right? Just like everybody with Julio. I hope Julio goes to Green Bay. Please bring Julio to Dallas. I don't want Julio anywhere near Dallas. No, I don't want Julio. Like, we've gotten the 300-yard games from Julio. We've gotten the dominant wide. I don't want anything else. I just don't want them anymore. It's time to move on, stop living. It was, Josh Gordon. Every time he came back, people were blowing their fab for Josh Gordon. Those 2 years you had when he blew up, you got him. It's over. Like, and I'm not saying that it's over for Amari Cooper. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying it depends on the cost, right? Is he a throw-in in a deal? Is he a core piece
Amari
of a deal?
Cooper or Jahan Dotson?
Who?
Amari Cooper or Jahan Dotson?
Cooper is going to outproduce him this year. There's no doubt in my mind. But if I'm in a dynasty startup,
Yeah.
I probably would rather Jahan Dotson long term. Like, I just don't want.
It's looking like Cooper's still a little overvalued. Like, you can still get George Pickens behind him. You can get Brandon Cooks behind him, which I think we would all take Brandon Cooks over him.
I'd probably
Juju's
take
behind
Cooper
him in
over
Dynasty,
Dotson, man.
A-Rob.
I'd probably still take Cooper. Realistically, I probably would have to take Cooper over Dotson, but I mean, you put me in a sticky give me Olave or Cooper. Who would you rather have?
Well, I'd rather have Olave, but Olave's also ranked much higher, right?
Okay, like I don't have rankings up. I don't have rankings.
I'm just pulling up ADP. This is just, Olave's up at wide receiver 24 in Dynasty on Cape Trade Cut, and Amari Cooper's down at 38.
24?
24. Right behind Jameson Williams, 65 overall. Chris Olave ahead of Elijah Moore, Marquise Brown, Treylon Burks, Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton, Darnell Mooney, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Mike Williams.
Whoa, stop. Olave has jumped Treylon Burks, and Olave's
Treylon Burks is way down there, dude. He's down to wide receiver 27, 74 overall. Keep track of that. Yeah, he's fallen a lot.
I've not, ever since I've started using Adeco stuff, Adeco, I haven't been on my favorite website, Keep Trade Cut, so I had no clue the shift. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, he's still falling quite a bit. And like we've talked about, and I got to give Mike a lot of credit for this. Jameson Williams continues to fall, right? Just the absence, not being in the news, not being on the field. Again, we love him, but he's probably going to continue to fall a little bit just because he's not playing, right? Mike Evans is going up a lot, though. Holy shit. Wide receiver 20. I like Mike Evans this season, though.
Okay. All right.
But it's a tough decision, right? Amari Cooper. I think he will continue to fall.
Treylon, I'm seeing a lot of Treylon bust. People are out. I told you. And everyone shits on me because I said right now, if I were in a startup, you take Olave because he's more valuable. Like, he's just more valuable. I still like Treylon, but Olave's more valuable for a lot of people. The consensus, right? Than Treylon Burks. If you had an Olave, you can go get Treylon Burks plus, because people think he's I'm just telling y'all what America,
what the market's saying.
What the people say. That's what it is, man. People feel like he's a bust. They're already out on him, man. If you had Olave, I guarantee you go trade for Treylon Burks plus something. Now the plus may not be much. I'm just the messenger.
Something, though.
I'm just the messenger. I just have the microphone and the good camera and a good studio set up. That's all I am. I didn't create the narrative, man. It's not even preseason.
Yeah, you did.
Justin
Jefferson also hopped Jamar Chase too. Finally.
Who?
Jefferson hopped Jamar Chase to be wide receiver 1.
Jefferson over Chase. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Come on, let's go.
We gotta. Do you want to have some fun? Do y'all want to have some fun? It's Friday. We only have like 10 minutes left. My Costa Rican vacation has been delayed. I got the kids here. They haven't eaten breakfast. Nothing. I'm here with y'all. Kids are out there struggling for life, and I'm out here with y'all. So
I've seen your kitchen. They're not struggling at all.
I do have a nice kitchen, and it is fully stocked. So I listened to a lot of different shows, and we've heard different segments, from on radio shows. One of the shows that I listen to on Sirius XM. Fun shows. We're going to have some fun, Jay. And I don't know why I took you off the screen, but this segment that we have, we are going to read you 3 news crazy clippings from the world today. Yes, fun time. Everyone's ready for some. Well, before we have fun, let's get into our super chats, because we have and Joe's actually going to lead us into this segment. Well, Joe will lead us into the last part of the segment. So James dropped this the other day. So let's get the air horn for James. Where's the sound effects at? Let's get the air horn going for James. Could you hear it? There we go. Wake up drafts start Wednesday, so not today. Team names include Team No Washcloth, Topa Chica, Keep Trade Cut, Wake Up Doorman, and Sink Stink. There we go. So James is theming it from some of the things that we've talked about on the show. Team No Washcloth. That team is definitely going to win. Team No Washcloth will win. There we go. Team No Wash. Appreciate you, James. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for your support, brother. And hopefully that's a good, dope league. Joe, you made a comment earlier, and we'll bring that up here in a second. But this show, we're going to read you 3 news segments, right? And you all are going to have to guess black, white, or other. That's the name of the segment. Black, white, or other. Black, white, or other. So I'm going to read you some shit that happened, and you got to guess black, white, or other. If somebody can get, we really had like five of them, but we're only going to do 3 today. We're going to find somebody. We're going to pick like Mike Anderson. And if Mike A can guess all 5 right, we'll send him a prize. I don't know what the prize will be, and I don't even know if I'll send it. But you're going to get a prize. We're just going to say you're going to get kudo points from the show. So, Jay, let's go ahead and get into the first news article. And you have to all guess black, white, or other. Who did this stupid shit? Black, white, or other. It's we were dying at this. So you ready for the first one, Jay? The headline is, Florida man caught after attempting to outrun police on lawnmower. All right? Here goes the story. Florida man reportedly took a cut and run to a whole new level by cutting the grass in his gateway vehicle, police say, by fleeing from officers on a lawnmower. According to Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office, Dusty Mobley, 40 years old, was arrested Saturday after a bizarre police chase. Deputies added that this arrest came just 7 months after Mobley had jumped into a swamp to escape deputies who were looking to serve warrants on him. So Dusty has had quite a few run-ins with the police. So Mobley tried to escape, speeding away at full speed on his John Deere ride-on lawnmower until officers caught up with him, used a stun gun to capture him. And let me get this. Mobley was caught with handgun, handcuff keys, and drug paraphernalia, methamphetamines. Was Dusty Mobley black, white, or other?
I mean, there's a lot of things here, Ray, and so I want people to understand that Ray's a mastermind. He's not a usual cat. The John Deere tractor alone says that man is probably white. if he's riding on a John Deere, he's got some meth. You know, there's a lot of things pointing, but I'm gonna go with other.
Okay.
Only because I think you're trying to trick me here.
Okay.
It's white, it could be white. I get that, but I'm thinking you're trying to trick me here. I'm going with the other.
You going with other? Dusty Mobley, where's he at? Nope, there he is. Dusty is white. Dusty Mobley,
of course.
Dusty Mobley was white. Okay, all right. Here goes another one. Let's see. All right. So this one is, and some of y'all may have seen it, but some of y'all may not. You might be listening. This one was a woman has revealed she was charged double, Jay, at an all-you-can-eat restaurant, all right? So the woman goes into the restaurant. She stays at the all-you-can-eat buffet for 3.5 hours to eat as much food as she wanted. When she got her bill at the end, she realized she had been charged twice, and there was a note that says, because she ate too much. She was visibly upset and questioned why, that she was being billed twice when it's a buffet, and how could you eat too much when the food is put out on a platter to eat as much as you want? This video was posted on TikTok and other places, but this woman was charged twice. She ate too much at the buffet, stayed 3.5 hours at the Golden Corral. White, black, or other?
So this one is pretty easy for me. I don't think a black woman would go on TikTok and complain about how she was double charged at a Golden Corral. So I'm going to go with the white person on this one.
You don't think a black woman would get on TikTok and talk about how she was double charged at the Golden Corral?
And beat the shit out of that Golden Corral server, and it would be on YouTube.
5-star pizza, black. No, white lady. It was a white lady who was double charged.
Hell yeah! Look at those glasses. Look at those glasses. She was all over TikTok.
First of all, how can you do that as an establishment? This is a buffet. All you can eat. How the hell can you tell somebody that ate too? That's BS, Jay. I'd be pissed if I was.
Yeah, that's terrible.
I'd be pissed. Terrible.
You can't do that.
I'd be pissed.
But Ray, let me just give you another side of this story. Imagine the shame on your body when someone comes to you with a bill that's double and they say, "I'm sorry, sir. We have to charge you double because you ate too much food."
Well,
think about how much you'd have to eat for them to notice the volume of food that you consumed to charge you double.
The part that I thought would throw people off is black people do partake in the Golden Corral after church on Sunday. So I thought the Golden Corral would kind of trick you off and get some people to say black, but no. We've got we've got are you 0 for 1, 0 for 2, or no, you're 1
and 1.
You're 1 for 1. All right. The final one, and I'm gonna use Joe. I'm gonna use Joe to lead us in because it's like she's been behind the scenes. No lie, some Little Caesars slaps hard. You have to find the right one. Well, Joe, thank you for leading us into the final segment of Black, White, or Others. So here goes one that happened a couple of days ago. Out of Lithonia, Georgia, the DeKalb County Fire Department rescued a man Tuesday morning who was trapped inside of an oven vent. According to the DeKalb Fire Department, DeKalb Fire spokesman, Captain Jason Daniels, the rescue team was called around 8 a.m. to a Little Caesars in a strip mall in Georgia after two people heard someone screaming, but they couldn't find him. A U.S. Army recruiter, shout out to our service members, men and women, showed up to work at the strip center and heard someone screaming for help. She thought the noise was coming from the top of the building, but couldn't see anybody. They went to the front and saw a Little Caesars employee trying to look into, and they heard the noise from inside even louder. The fire department had to use tools to gain access to the pipe that the man slid down. They got him out with minor injuries. He said he had some friction burns from sliding down the oven pipe, and he was a little dehydrated. The police did not know if he wanted to make his own pizza or rob the place. Jay, was the Little Caesars infiltrator that tried to slide down the vent and was stuck black, white, or other? Little Caesars.
So, my man Roro made a good point here. And he said it was very simple. 2-word comment. Georgia, period, black. That's great profiling. I like that, Roro. You're definitely on something here. I don't think it was a white person, but I'm gonna go with other, Ray. And the reason why is because I think you're trying to be tricky again. I think it's too obvious. You say Georgia, Little Caesars. The black
Little
people
Caesars. I don't know. Maybe Domino's. It might have been. Joe says Latina. Maybe. Let's go. She's going other.
I think it's an other.
Let's go to the news. Let's go to the news and watch this incredible story, and then we will get the answer to this segment. Let's see what they have to say, Jay.
Well, workers at a shopping center showed up to a bit of a bizarre scene yesterday in Atlanta, where a man was stuck in an oven vent, screaming for help.
It appears the man tried to enter the building through an oven vent on the rooftop. Rebecca Schramm reports.
I definitely did not expect this. Me and another recruiter heard somebody screaming for help, so we actually stepped back and we tried to see if maybe someone was on top of the roof.
Next door, a worker at the Little Caesars Pizza was hearing the same screams coming from an oven vent. She went inside the restaurant.
Kind of unconventional, something we don't deal with every day.
Fire and rescue personnel jumped into action. Look at this photo they took. As they cut away part of the vent, you can see how narrow the space was where the man was trapped.
Or is he black?
Dirty. Our guys, in particular, our heavy rescue unit, carries a lot of different tools, and we're able to use a lot of them today.
What are you doing?
To get him out safely.
There he is!
Here he is after they got him out. Police had him in handcuffs. He was complaining of dehydration and friction burns on his arms from where he slid down the shaft. As for why he crawled into that exhaust vent,
I think it's pretty apparent. He didn't really give a statement on what he was actually doing, but it's pretty apparent. We'll let PD kind of sort those things out.
I didn't ask. Of course, that was my thought. I was wondering why he was in there, but I'm just glad they didn't turn the oven on because he would have been toast.
Black. The black.
Damn it.
When I saw this, we're dying. What are you doing? What are you doing? He went in there to steal Little Caesars pizzas.
Man was hungry.
In the morning at that, not at night. At 8, he was trapped. Like, they got him at 8 a.m. What are you doing?
That's crazy.
And then did you hear what the lady said how do you even report this shit with a straight face? I'm glad they didn't turn the oven on because he would have been toast.
Yeah.
All right, Jay. You were 1 for 2 today.
1 for 2.
And our segment of Black, White, or Other. And Little Caesars is 100% worse than Domino's Pizza.
True.
All right, folks. Hey, we talk it all. We show no racial bias here. You black, you do stupid shit, we're going to laugh at you. You're white, you want to run from the police in your John Deere and get tased, we're going to laugh at you and have some fun on the show, damn it. Black, white, or other, first segment on Wake Up has nothing to do with football. Somebody on YouTube, well, actually, I tuned in for the news and I got to watch them play a game guessing race. You're goddamn right, because we have fun, we don't discriminate, and we love everybody, baby. So, Jay, as we get out of here for the week, and we leave the people with this segment that has no actionable advice for Dynasty Fantasy Football either. What do you want to tell the people before we depart for a week, man?
I want them to get excited, man. I'm going to be working on a lot of graphics and stuff for the show this week. So don't worry. It's not going to be a wasted week. We're going to have a lot of good stuff. And when we come back, it'll be training camp in full swing. So there'll be tons to talk about, tons of news, things to break down, players to break down. Ray, we made it. We went to the draft. We were hyped about the draft. Draft ended. We're like, shit. Now we got to make it through another 2-3 months. We're here. Training camp's here. A lot of fun stuff on the way. But we're definitely going to try to do a lot to make this show awesome with this week. So I'm going to have a lot of time doing that. And I know you're going to be doing a lot of work sunbathing in Costa Rica. So have fun with that. Once you get back, we'll see what happens. And then, Ray, maybe, I don't want to rule it out. Because we did do a show when you were in Mexico. And if the right news breaks, we may have to do a surprise show, and you guys will not know about it. I will tweet about it, but you will not know about it if we decide to do a show. But I hope you just enjoy your vacation, and I hope everyone gets excited, because when we get back, there will be a lot of fun stuff on the way for sure.
Yeah. When we get back, like Jay said, when we get back, training camp will be in full. Like we'll be right on the cusp of that starting. So a lot of football advice, a lot of actionable content, but most importantly, we like to entertain. And I saw the comment that popped up. I'm glad y'all aren't afraid to have some fun with humor, with Ray. Like we love everybody, man. Like anybody, I'm an equal opportunities. We can have fun, joke, talk shit, laugh about anything, everybody. It's a respectful community over here. That's why I rock with y'all. That's why I appreciate y'all. So we may bring back Black, White, or Other on another Friday when there's news is slow and we have nothing else to do. But from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate y'all rocking with us throughout this whole process. The NFL and college football season is on deck, so we got a lot of good shit cooking for you all. We're going to have a lot of debates. We're going to argue. We're going to have fun. But most importantly, we're going to do it together as a community. So I hope you guys enjoy your week off from having to wake up with me. And just make sure you come back in like 2 weeks. We'll get everything set up. So we just appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe. Like the content. Tell your people about it. And subscribe to our newsletter below. For real. Even though we'll be on for a week, we'll still be dropping information in the newsletter. It's free. No charge or anything, free 99. Subscribe to the newsletter. Appreciate y'all being here. Appreciate y'all rocking with us. Y'all have a beautiful weekend. Have a great week, and we'll see y'all real soon here on Wake Up. We out of this thing. Peace.